Hey y'all, this is Amanda with She's Mad Gardener, and thanks so much for joining me today. I am showing you guys my 2021 cut flower seed haul. Super excited about it. For those of you who are new friends, thank you so much for joining us, and be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can find out what I'm up to and what my latest videos are. And for those of you who are old friends, make sure that you click the notification bell so that you know exactly when I post videos. I tend to post videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'm hoping to start posting on Saturdays coming up soon. But y'all, look at all this beautifulness. Look at all these seeds. They're all mine, all of them. They're all mine. I'm so excited. I'm going to organize them, maybe. I'm not sure. I tend to just keep mine in a little pot, but we'll see. But I cannot wait to go through and tell you all about the cut flowers I'm going to be growing this year. Just wait. Now, in all honesty, I'm still going to buy more, just to throw that out there. But I want to show you guys where I'm at this point in time. It's almost mid-January. I've been collecting for a little while. I put some of my orders in, and I've purchased from a variety of sources, some online sources. I've purchased from big box stores. I'm also working with some of the seeds that I have from last year. I'm a small home gardener, and so I don't carry plethoras and plethoras of seeds, and typically when I utilize a seed packet such as something like this, I don't use all the seeds that are in there, so I will go ahead and just store them to the side. I tend to just keep mine in cute little pots. Simple, easy, looks pretty sitting out on like something like my shelves behind me, and it's easy for me to just kind of flip through them and find what I want. Okay, so let's start with some of the easiest places for you to pick up seeds, and that is a big box location such as Home Depot or Lowe's or Walmart or something along those lines. I even have a lot of gardener friends who'll purchase seeds from the Dollar Tree, and they've had fairly good luck with those. All these seeds are going to be cut flowers, so I'm not talking about any kind of vegetables, tomatoes, anything along those lines today. But yeah, so let's start with kind of the things that I'll be utilizing from big box stores. This brand is Fairy Moors. I've had really good luck with them in the past. I love the beautiful photos they put on the front. They give really good descriptions on the back, such as this particular one called Zinnia Oklahoma Mix. It's a double flowered zinnia with ball-shaped large pom-pom flowers. Can be used for vibrant or as a cut flower, attracts butterflies, vibrant colors. It's really great about giving me my days of germination, my depth of planted at, spacing, height, days to bloom, everything. So it's really fantastic, gives me a lot of information. And for someone like me, I prefer all my information in one place. I don't mind having to jump on Google and go look for some things every once in a while, but I don't want to spend all my time doing that. I want to be able to look, understand what needs to be done, and then work with what I have. Now, that being said, zinnia is a tried and true for me. I tend to do a lot of zinnias throughout the year. Let me pull out all my zinnias for you real quick. Here's some of these from the Fairy Moors. And when I do zinnias, I do not put all the seeds out at one time. I just kind of spread them out like every 2 weeks. I'll go through and I'll throw another handful of zinnia seeds out just to have a variety of blooming times throughout. So this year I've got from Fairy Moors, I've got the giant double violet queen, and I'll put a photo up here so you guys can have a better look at these. These are 35 days to bloom. That's one of the things I love about zinnias. I'll start putting them out probably at the end of May into June, maybe a little bit earlier depending on how our temps are. I am zone 8A. If we're a little bit warmer than usual, I'll go ahead and put some out. But 35 days to bloom for zinnias is just like instant gratification. Wonderful. And zinnias, the more you cut on them, the more they're going to bloom. So if you will just go cut yourself beautiful bouquets, give them to friends, they're going to bloom and bloom and bloom. I also have Envy, which is a bright green, limey green. A lot of my Envy in my area, they tend to turn out more of a yellowy green color. I've also got giant double Enchantress. A really hard word. Why is that word so hard for me? These are lovely. They bloom like crazy. And then a giant double flowered canary bird, bright yellow. This one's a fun one. And then Oklahoma Mix, which is a mix of multiple shades. It does have a kind of a lighter pink in here, and it does have a bright red in this mix as well. So those are my zinnias from Fairy Moors. Now, I will be working with a variety of basils this year. I use basil as a foliage filler when I'm working on my floral designs. And if you guys don't know me very well and you're just like getting started on all of this, I love arranging flowers. So I have tons of cut flowers and I love doing videos of how to arrange flowers there at your house. So if you haven't checked out any of those, be sure to check out that playlist. I love having that. And so basil is one of the things I love working with. So this one right here is a cinnamon basil, which I'll be really excited. This will be new for me this year. If it really smells like cinnamon, y'all, I'm just gonna be in heaven. Can't wait. And then this basil is a dark opal purple. I had a lot of luck with purple ruffled basil last year. I bought it in a small 4-inch pot at a local nursery and it just went bonkers. And so I would like to have that again, but I'm gonna try from seed and see what I can come up with. Okay. So also I'm going to be doing a wide variety of sunflowers. The only sunflowers I have from Fairy Moors this year is the Dwarf Teddy Bear. And these, if you haven't seen them before, they're kind of like a fuzzy kind of look, really kind of hairy is the wrong word for a sunflower, but almost like you reach out and pet them like a teddy bear. So they're lovely. They grow really well. They're kind of a shorter, this is a dwarf variety. They're a little bit shorter, so they're like 2 feet tall. So they're kind of a sunflower that I bring forward, and I'll have some of the larger branching varieties in the back. We'll be doing an Aster mix this year. I didn't have a lot of luck with Aster last year, but I'm feeling better about it, getting the seeds starting. I feel, now that I've got a couple of years underneath me, I feel like I can maybe get a little bit of a better turnout. So we'll see how these go. And then I've got Canterbury Bells, which are beautiful, long stem. You can see that pretty much everything I'm choosing is for a particular cut garden, cut flower type of approach. Okay, so there's my Fairy Moors. Okay, I've already got a wide variety of poppies that are out. Last year I grew one, and I'm probably not going to be able to find it. I will find a picture of it and put it up and put the name, but it was like a red and white flag. It kind of reminded me of like Canada kind of feel. So I'll put that up for you guys to look at, and it did beautifully. It spread like crazy. I was able to harvest quite a bit of seeds from it, and if you haven't seen a harvest video on how to harvest poppy seeds, feel free to look through all my portfolio videos. I've got a video on that. Super fun, super easy. And then I've got a wide variety of poppies that I've already put out this year. These are by Botanical Interests. I put a Hungarian blue out. And I love poppy seeds because basically you just sprinkle them out. I don't, try to sow them to any particular depth. I just put them out. Typically we'll put them out before rain. So then I know that they're going to get wet. And this is a peony double blend. I'm super excited to see how these turn out this year. Poppies don't make the best cut flowers, but they're fun to bring in for like a day. You want to cut them like right when they're about to burst open. You definitely don't want to cut a poppy that's already been open for a day or so, but right when they're about to burst, you cut those and bring them in. They're beautiful. And then this one is a black swan, which kind of has like a fuzzy look to it. I'll be really excited. These are 36 inches tall. They should be absolutely gorgeous. It says their blooms are almost 5 inches. So, I mean, that's a good sized poppy bloom. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Botanical Interests, which is another brand of seeds. I've purchased these at Callaway's. I've purchased these at our local nursery called Covington's. And so I do tend to see this variety around quite a bit. I love the photo. These are absolutely beautiful. I love that they show what the beginning of the seedling looks like in the back, because a lot of times it's hard to tell like what's a weed and what's cut flower, especially with as many seeds as I sow in my area. So I think and it provides a whole lot of information. Now the back area has an area where you can cut out the little tag and you can, save it or put it to the side or something like that. I tend to keep the whole packet. I usually cut straight across the back or across the top when pulling my seeds out, so I can save the entire packet and refer back to it if I need it at any point. This is a Celosia Pampas Plume Tall Blend. This one, I'm excited to grow Celosia, but I'm also excited to dry Celosia this year. So I'll be excited to see what that does. I do have some dried flowers peeking up out there, but I want to do more dried flowers so that I have some interest that I can work with during the winter months. I think it'll be really fun. This one's a bright yellow, scarlet, pink, wide variety mix in here. So that'll be fun to watch. I also have lots of Larkspur. This is Galilee blend of Larkspur planted. Larkspur are so easy. I just toss out the seeds, add a little water, and call it a day. And they grow like crazy. They reseed themselves. They're fun flowers. They'll last in my area until we start getting a little bit warmer. So probably about mid-April, they'll start dying back, and I'll chop them all back, and then I'll allow the other seeds in that area to come up. But I love Larkspur, especially for cut flower arrangements. Let me put some of these sunflowers away. Okay, cosmos are super fun. My favorite cosmo is these Seashell blend of cosmos, and I'll put a photo up here as I'm talking about it, but it has like a little like rolled petal. It's beautiful. So the rolled petal is supposed to resemble a seashell, but beautiful, very prolific. The more you cut cosmos, the more they're gonna grow. So once you see flowers, start cutting them, start bringing them in and start enjoying them, and more will come. And then I also am gonna do cosmos in the bright lights blend with those, which is a lot of orange, light orange, and yellow. So you can see I have a variety of colors. I do prefer pinks and purples and blues and those colors. However, that makes for very boring arrangements after a while. So I do like to mix my colors if I can do so. This will be my first year starting Strawflower. I'm interested in Strawflower, not necessarily for the bloom right away, but as a dried flower. They already kind of have like a papery texture when they actually bloom. Like you would think, are these even alive or are these dried flowers? But yeah, they have like a papery texture, which is pretty cool. So I'm super excited to see what these look like, how they work out. I'm gonna be sowing them inside and then planting them outside. So we'll see. Wish me luck on this one. All right, so this is Peach Melba Nasturtium. Looking forward to trying Nasturtiums out. I tried last year and I direct sowed outside and couldn't really get all that much going. So I'm kind of excited that this one might grow a little bit more. We'll see. I'm going to be sowing them inside. It said roots are sensitive to transplant disturbance. So I'm probably going to put them in a biodegradable pot so that I can just plant the entire pot in the ground without having to mess with the roots. If you ever read something like that on a packet where it's like, hey, it doesn't transplant well, grow it in a biodegradable pot, because you can pop the whole thing in there, not touch the roots at all, and you're good to go. Okay, I'm also going to be growing a black-eyed Susan vine. I'm super psyched about this. This isn't necessarily for a cut flower. I'm wanting to grow this on a trellis, but I'm also wanting to grow this in some hanging baskets because I would love to see all the vines kind of drape down. I don't know if that's going to work out well. However, it just kind of seems super interesting and would be very dramatic if it actually ended up working. I ended up getting this mix, which is called Spanish Eyes, and it has pinks and reds and oranges and yellows and a lot of bit of mix in it. It's all kind of sunset hues. So I think this will just be absolutely stunning and very fun to work with this year. Okay, next I have Delphinium. Now, I love Delphinium. They tend to be picky for me in my particular area. I like to purchase the plants. I typically will purchase them from like a local wholesaler. They're not cheap plants. And then they're annuals for me. They don't come back every year. So I always have a really hard time that I've spent the money on that, and then do I want to clip the blooms? I stress about it. So this year I'm going to try to grow them from seed and see if that ends up helping out, because even like this packet is at $1.99. If I get one out of this, that is far less expensive than me paying for a $19.99 plant, a Delphinium. And you know, it's typically in a quart, I believe. And so even if I get one, I'll just be over the moon about this. This is Pacific Giants blend. So these blooms tend to be about 3 foot tall. So I think that's fantastic. I'm very excited to see what these look like, and I really hope that they work out. Okay, so one of my favorite places to purchase from is Johnny's Selected Seeds. It's an online company that I purchase from. It's family owned. They give a lot of information, so it's really easy to go back through stuff. Now, I wish they had beautiful photos. I mean, I know that sounds super, you know, selfish or I don't know, like just focused on pretty, but I like pretty. I grow cut flowers. Like I like pretty stuff. It's quite obvious. And so I just wish there's a beautiful photo. However, you can very easy jump on their website. They have tons of photos of the plants. You can see what they look like. So it's not like there isn't any information. It just isn't, the photo's not on the packet. So you need to reference their website. However, they have a ton of information on the back regarding each plant, each seed, how to plant it and such. This year I'll be doing the Flashback Mix Calendula, which I've had really good success with in the past. So I'll be excited to see what these end up looking like. Now, for those of you who know a little bit more about me, I actually am a floral designer for weddings and events. I know, right? Shocker, right? So I've been working with flowers for years and years and years, but I work with all cut flowers. I never see the dirt. I never see how they grow, nothing. They just arrived for me, open, ready to go, beautiful. And so one of the flowers I've been interested in this year is this kind of papery approach called a status. It's typically thought of as a flower that you stick into a dozen roses. It's not really a highly sought after flower. However, I feel like it might be making a comeback. So I'm going to be growing some status this year to kind of see how it looks. This is a mix of multiple colors. I believe I had purple, like yellow, pink, purple, white. So I'll be excited to see how these look. Okay, I might have gone a little overboard. I gotta divide these out before I start talking to you guys more about them. They're all just mixed up. Okay, here we go. All right, so let me start with Scabiosa from Johnny Seeds. Scabiosa is one of my favorite plants to work with. It's a long, thin, kind of wiry stem, and then it's got this big, heavy, bulbous flower on the end of it. It comes in a wide variety of colors. This year I'm going to be doing Fire King and Snow Maiden. Snow Maiden is white. I'm pretty sure Fire King is like kind of like a reddish pink color. So looking forward to seeing both of those. If I do well on these, if I'm able to establish these, they tend to be at least a couple of year perennials for me. Sometimes if it gets a little cold or too hot, they'll die back. Very prolific if you can get these going. Very prolific. I had one that was a Black Beauty Scabiosa this year. And I mean, the plant must have been 4 foot tall. I mean, and it was hundreds of blooms, and the more I cut, the more they just kept coming and coming and coming, and beautiful. And then one of the other things that's cool about Scabiosa is that you can leave the flowers on there and the petals fall off and you're left with this kind of little dried seed pod type looking thing, which is beautiful in cut flower arrangements as well. So if you haven't tried Scabiosa, sometimes called pincushions, these are excellent to try as well. Okay, I have a few more Larkspur that I'm doing, just a basic Larkspur White. And then I'm also going to be doing this one called Fancy Smoky Eyes. Everybody likes a good smoky eye. But Fancy Smoky Eyes, they're kind of like a lavendery purplish gray color. So I'm kind of excited to see what these turn out as. I tend to grow a lot of purple, pink, and white in Larkspur. And so having a little bit of a different variety should be beautiful. So I'm excited to see what these look like. Larkspur, I will be direct sewing. I won't be working with them inside. I'll direct sew them outside because I feel like they do better that way. Let's look at, and I did this one, a few more zinnias. Like I said, I love zinnias. They're easy to grow. I did get a Benary's giant mix. And if you are wanting to grow zinnias, Benary, B-E-N-A-R-Y-S, is a really great variety to grow. It comes in a wide variety of colors. The coral is stunning. It's just kind of a, really good zinnia to work with. So if you haven't done that, you should do that. This is a mix of multiple types. And then this one is a Zowie yellow flame, and it's got a very unique petal look. It's not a typical zinnia, so I kind of like that as well. And then cactus flowered mix for zinnias, and I like these. These are very spiky, unusual. They kind of remind me a little bit of a dahlia. So this is a very neat look for zinnias. Okay, I'm going to be growing a couple of types of asters this year. A king size apricot. I also chose this because it kind of reminds me a little bit of dahlia as well. I will be growing dahlias as well, but I'm not growing those from seed. But yeah, this is a really cool look. I love asters. You can cut and cut and cut on these as well. They transplant really pretty well as well. And then this is a tower custom mix. This year I got a lot of mixes, which is not typically something I do. Typically I'm very specific, like I only want the coral variety or I only want this variety. This year, I don't know if it's just from being cooped up and I just want to try all the things. I've just been trying a ton of mixes and I figured I'll just see what all these varieties look like in person and then I can pick from those which ones I like. Especially if I know I'm ordering from the same seed person, you know, seed provider such as Johnny's. You know, I know that in their Tower Custom Mix, it's going to have a wide varieties, but I know I can go back to Johnny's and find out those individual varieties and order seeds just for those. So if I love one particular color in here, I can go back and order that particular one for next year. Okay, here's a couple more amaranth that I'm going to be growing. This one is a coral fountain. This last year I grew like a really burgundy, deep burgundy color that had like a really purple leaf. It was absolutely beautiful. So I'm kind of excited to grow the coral variety this year. I think that'll be really, really pretty. That one's in the wrong place. And then I also got one that's called Hot Biscuits Amaranth, and it's kind of like a caramel color. I think that'll be beautiful. This stuff tends to show up as we start getting towards the middle of the summer. It likes the heat. But I love utilizing it for fall arrangements, and I am hoping to dry some of the amaranth this year. I'd really even like to try a process where they bleach that amaranth, the dried bleached amaranth. So we'll see how that happens. I might, you know, do a tutorial on that if it actually ends up working after I've tried a couple of times. But amaranth, beautiful, long trailing, gorgeous blooms, very different, very different. These plants tend to be very large. I'm not gonna lie, I just throw these out onto the ground. They do great. I just throw them out onto the ground. I love that kind of stuff that I don't have to, like, you know, work really hard on. I can just throw out the seeds and they're happy as a lark. However, I do understand that if I want a wider variety, I've got to, you know, start sowing my seeds inside, getting a head start on things. I certainly am not somebody who can just go buy everything I want from a nursery at this point in time. Now, maybe this YouTube station will blow up and I'll be able to do that someday, which would be great. However, for the meantime, seeds it is. Okay, one of the vines I'm going to be growing this year is hyacinth bean. This one is called Ruby Moon. It's kind of got lilac flowers and like really dark wine colored seed pods. I am growing this for looks and for how intense it is. It grows like crazy and it fills up trellises beautifully. And so for an inexpensive, I mean, I think I paid $3 or $4 for this, and it's how many seeds? 15 seeds. They should do beautiful. And so I'm going to have these growing up over some cattle panel arbors this year, which I think will be lovely. Okay, and last but certainly not least, I do have some of my sunflower varieties. I don't have all of them here yet. I will definitely be doing a lot of the Pro Cut series. If you haven't experienced the Pro Cut series, they are a tall, single stem, tried and true sunflower. They have them in a wide variety of colors, white night, I can't even think about them off the top of my head, but they do really well. They are not a sunflower that you can harvest the seeds and utilize the seeds next year to grow more plants. You have to repurchase Pro Cuts every year. However, they're beautiful. There's a reason that they are the price they are, is because they do really well. So definitely check out those. I happen to be a fan of branching sunflowers. I like the tall, crazy sunflowers that makes me feel like I'm in, you know, Alice in Wonderland garden, you know, or something like that. So I like branching varieties. So this year I may be growing lemonade branching variety, and let's see how tall these get. Just says it doesn't say how tall they get. 72 inches. 72 inches. I love growing stuff like this. I have 3 children, and when I grow like epic stuff like this, their eyes are just drawn to it immediately. So if you have some kids, or you just really kind of like that like fun, whimsical, quirky look, branching sunflowers. Branching sunflowers are the way to go. Pop these in the earth. They're usually about an inch or two deep. No big deal. They'll grow like crazy. This one is called, so I have the lemonade, and then I have the strawberry lemonade mix. That's also, this one's a hybrid branching sunflower. So these get 84 inches tall. 84 inches tall. 84 inches tall. Very, very, very tall. So yeah, these will be pretty fabulous. I can't wait to see these happen. I will look forward to taking pictures of my kids in front of these sunflowers and then passing these out to friends, which will be really fun too. And then the other branching sunflower I'm growing, this year is called the Goldie Double. So this one gets about 72 inches as well. So it should be really, really pretty. Growing on lots of sun. All your sunflowers are going to be in full bright sunlight, so definitely do those. I've grown a wide variety of sunflowers over the years, but I do say I really lean towards the branching, and I know that's weird because I know a lot of gardeners right now, they're just really into the pro cut flowers and they're really into the single stems, and it has that beautiful kind of look where you have fields of sunflowers, but I think I just like the quirkiness of a branching sunflower. Okay, and last year I had really good luck with these chocolate cherry sunflowers, which are absolutely beautiful. They end up being a really deep dark color. I got these from Haas. I actually ended up ordering quite a few seeds from Haas. I think I ended up getting several. Let me look. I think I did. I got several pro cuts from them last year. So I do really like these as well. 60 days to maturity blooming, but chocolate cherry sunflowers. I'm of the mind I just like to try stuff, and seeds don't make me feel guilty. Seeds don't make me feel guilty. If it doesn't work out, I'm out a couple of bucks. It's very different than if I were to go invest, $10, $15, $20 in a plant and then that doesn't work out. So I do feel like seeds really still kind of hold that like amazing quality of starting with the dogs are shaking like crazy. Starting with this really tiny itty bitty seed and then watching it expand to a plant. It never ceases to amaze me when I walk outside and I see that a little bitty sprout has occurred. It never ceases to amaze me. I am in awe of it every single time. And I would think that after all these years of gardening, I would think that I would, am I bored with that or anything? I'm not bored with it at all. I love it. And it's such a fun opportunity to see what Mother Nature can do. I just love it. Now, probably what I'm going to do on this, it would be best if I would put together a beautiful, basically Excel sheet on all of this. Probably not going to do that. I like writing in a little journal. I like seeing my handwriting. So that's probably what's going to happen. I'm going to write all these out just to kind of give me an idea of when I need to go ahead and start my planting and when I can expect to start seeing blooms. That's something that's always really important to me because I want to know. I want to know, am I waiting 60 days? Am I waiting 90 days? Am I waiting 120 days to see these blooms? Or am I getting the instant gratification of a zinnia that's going to be blooms in 35 days? I want to know. And a lot of times I just want to reference through my journal real quick as I'm walking around and looking and checking things out. If you're going to be planting seeds, I encourage you to hold off on weeding. Don't go picking all these little things that you think are weeds before the seeds have had an opportunity or the sprouts have an opportunity to get large enough for you to identify the plant. I have had that issue with my husband in the past. He's gone through and picked up stuff and I was like, those are my cosmos. He just pulled all of my cosmos up. So definitely keep that in mind as well. If you have puppy dogs like I do, or cats, or whomever, definitely want to protect your areas where you have seeds so they're not walking through and crushing sprouts, doing any digging, anything along those lines. I typically put a little bit of a fence around mine to keep the puppy dogs out of there until stuff is larger. I'm so happy that you guys joined me today to go through my seed haul. There are several things I didn't touch on. I just touched on the ones that I'm most excited about. There are some that are going to be new to me this year, brand new plants that I've never grown before. This is like this one, which is a Perot White Halopterium. We'll try that out. I'm excited about that. I'm also got Virgo Feverfew, which will be new to me this year. I've got Sunball Cresspedia. I can't wait to see what this one looks like. Wide variety of ones that are going to be new to me this year. So I'm excited to kind of see how these turn out. And I'll keep you guys updated on it. I encourage you to buy seeds. Don't be intimidated by seeds. If you want to buy 1 packet of seeds and start from there, then do it. If you want to buy 100 packets of seeds and start from there, do it. Absolutely do it. Follow directions. Watch some videos on seed planting. I will have a video coming out in about 2 weeks when I start all my indoor sowing of my flower seeds for all my cut flowers. And so I will be having a video on that, so you guys can catch that and follow that, and let me know if you have any questions, or if you have some amazing secret of like how to get all of your seeds to germinate and how to transplant beautifully. Like if you own that secret, you need to share that with me. Tell me your secrets. So post below, comment, let me know what you're thinking. Well, let me know what you're excited about. Like I want to know, what seed are you excited about? Whether it's a flower, whether it's a coleus, whether it's some beautiful pumpkin or a vegetable or whatever. Tell me what you're loving right now, because I probably want to copy off of you and try it too. If you're excited about it, I'm probably going to be excited about it too. Other than that, thank you guys so much for joining me today. For those of you guys who are new, thanks for sticking through to the end. Be sure to subscribe so you can catch all my future videos. And for those of you who are old friends, make sure you click that notification little bell, the little notification bell at the bottom. Click that so you know when all my latest videos come up. And if you're not following me on Instagram, be sure to jump over there. And I might be kind of jumping into the world of TikTok. We'll see. I'm still trying to learn. I feel a little old when I'm on there. So we'll check it out and we'll see how it does. But other than that, you guys, she's a mad gardener or decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Bye, and thank y'all so much. Seeds, it's raining seeds. Lots of seeds. Need a seed. I need like a seed fan. After I'm done with all these seed packets, it'll be good for the hot weather here in Texas. Like seeds? Do you like seeds? I love you. I love you. Hey, you like seeds? Here comes Rocky.